Browns back at practice today, Mary Kay, as they get ready for the New Orleans Saints. And a little talk about the quarterbacks. Actually, a lot of talk about the quarterbacks out there on sports radio, Twitter, all this stuff. With Sam Darnold starting in New York and having success, that's really sort of driven it. People wondering if maybe the Browns should look into that. With Tyrod Taylor struggling, is it time to turn things over to Baker Mayfield? And you asked Hue Jackson about that today.
Yeah, I specifically asked him about Sam's debut, and did that make him change his mind whatsoever about slow playing it with Baker Mayfield? And he said, not at all. He hasn't changed his mind. He talked about how he really likes Baker Mayfield. He likes how far he's come. He likes the work that he's doing. But the organizational decision is to make him wait right now. Now then, of course, the follow-up question was, what if Tyrod Taylor continues to struggle? He went 15 of 40 in this past game. And Hue Jackson said he does not expect to see that. He thinks Tyrod will get a lot better going forward and that this won't be an issue.
Now, somebody who didn't struggle in week one was Myles Garrett. And we found out today that Jarvis Landry, every time he sees Myles Garrett, says Defensive Player of the Year to him. He wants Garrett to get that award, and Garrett certainly made a strong case on Sunday. 2 forced fumbles, a couple of sacks of Ben Roethlisberger, really took over the game, and that's been something a lot of players and the coaching staff have been talking about this week.
Yeah, you know what? It was good to see that he was able to live up to all the hype. I mean, we had been just talking about him through all of preseason, through training camp, and it was all about how Myles was ready to just bust out and be the player that they wanted him to be, that generational pass rusher. And he looked like that in the first game, and that is what you want from a #1 overall pick.
And he said today that Sunday was the first time he's felt 100% since going back to Texas A&M when he first hurt that ankle against Arkansas. So you could certainly tell on Sunday against the Steelers. Now, Demarius Randall did pop up on the injury report today with a head or neck injury. He was limited in practice. Not sure if that's anything to be worried about yet. We'll find out a little bit more about that on Friday. But certainly losing Randall, if they didn't have him on Sunday against this passing attack, would be a big loss.
Yeah, it really would be. And he played a really solid game the other day. Of course, he had an interception off Ben Roethlisberger, and he just has a knack for that. And in looking back at the game he played last year, the only time he's ever faced Drew Brees, he picked him off in that game. So he's got a nose for the football, and I think he has a really good feel for Drew Brees from scouting him and studying film of him last year. I think he was going to be able to help other guys this year prepare for Drew Brees, so it would be a big loss.
All right, Browns Saints getting closer here, and we will have full coverage of it all at cleveland.com/Browns.